thumbs up. All right, let's get this ball rolling. Hold on, let me get myself ready here. Okay. I'd like to call this December 9th Halfmoon Township Board of Supervisor meeting to order. I'll stand if you are able for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Let's see. Okay, would you like to do a quick roll call?
Sure. We'll start with Chair Del Corso,
Here.
Vice Chair Strauss,
Good evening.
Supervisor Hartle,
Here.
Supervisor Piper,
Here.
and Supervisor Beck.
Here.
Excellent. We will do our opening announcements, which is pretty much the same as every other meeting.
It is. We have everything being recorded on CNET's live YouTube channel as well. This is normal for us. If you've already signed up and you're watching that meeting on YouTube, you can comment on that as well. We're asking for residents' email addresses, even if you've signed up in the past. I don't know what's going on here this evening. Just click on our website and you can hit the contact us button. If you did not get tonight's agenda, you are not on our listserv for updates. We're always looking for people to volunteer on various committees and boards. If you have any interest in any one of these, please contact me. We are getting ready to do our reorg meeting in January, and we do have some vacancies available. And then I would like that we could possibly go into an executive session for a personnel matter at the end of the meeting. We can adjourn to it.
Thank you. All right, at this time, we will allow citizen comments from anyone present or online, and we like to hold those comments to 5 minutes. Do we have any citizen comments about any items not on the agenda this evening? Anyone online? Okay, we will move along. Approval of the agenda tonight. Are there any changes, movements of any of the items on the agenda this evening? If not, I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll move that we approve tonight's agenda.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, ayes have it. We will move along. Well, first order of business is to have a public hearing, so it is 7:02 p.m. We're going to go ahead and open this public hearing, which is to approve the 2022 fiscal year budget. So we have the various funds that or what do you call those? The summary budgets for each of those areas: general fund, open space preservation, fire protection, park fund, state liquid fuels, capital buildings, capital equipment. And we can pull up the summary for each one, see if there's any final comments from the board. This is also the opportunity for the public to comment on any of the items.
I would like to note that this was advertised in the Center Daily Times on November 1st, 2021, and that there actually are two changes that we should note. If I actually have it pulled up right now, if you look at the general fund budget,
Would you mind?
making it even bigger,
Please, thank you. For anybody
Is that-
watching. Bigger if you can.
I can make it a little bigger.
Sure.
Okay, wonderful. Whoop. Okay, in the employer paid benefits draft budget that was advertised, the FICA Social Security, if you see the line item 48110, in this portion up here, if you can see my cursor, it says 12,85545. That was the year-to-date column when we were doing the budget instead of what it should have been at 17,660.50. The Medicare, same thing. That was the year-to-date, and that should be 4130.28. What's wonderful is we use this unencumbered line. If you can see this 01489, that then will decrease. We kind of use that as a way to present a zero budget whenever we have a small excess of revenues from expenses. So that will actually decrease then to 8,175.58. So it's still a completely balanced budget. Just those two employer paid benefits were put in as a year to date rather than the budgeted item. So we just reduced the unencumbered.
Great.
It does not require re-advertisement either. We checked with the solicitor, And because it does not have, it's in section 3202A of the second class township code, but it does not exceed the amount required for re-advertisement either.
Lovely. Does anybody have any questions about that?
I have none. Seems pretty straightforward.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion, but do we move to,
Close the hearing?
oh, that's right, I'm sorry, we're still in the
Yeah,
hearing.
we're
I'm
still in the
sorry.
hearing, yes,
Right,
yes.
right.
So let's go through and just check. So that's the general fund. Again, this is time for any kind of comment. Want to make sure we pause. Is there anyone online so I don't have to ask all the time? No. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Okay, so open space preservation. Do we need to open these up? Does anyone need to see anything?
I looked at them ahead of time.
Yeah.
Do you all in the audience want to see the summary? Are you okay?
I think I'm good. Are you good?
Okay, that's fine. So if there are no comments, anyone else from the board, I can close the public hearing. Good? Okay. 7:06 PM, we will close the public hearing.
Now I'd like to make a motion that we pass the budget for,
Not yet.
no, not yet. Now what?
Let me pull up the agenda.
Okay,
we
ready?
just- No, we just closed the hearing.
Okay.
That's all.
So, when do we do, oh, that's not until new business.
Right.
Gotcha. So that's public hearing, so down in new business is when we'll do that.
Gotcha, okay, I thought
Be
we,
okay.
at this point, we'd vote on the, yeah, okay. that
That's
makes sense.
okay.
And I do remember seeing that down at the bottom of the agenda
a
and
couple
wondering
more
why we
items,
were
yeah.
doing it
Yep,
twice.
yep.
Now I understand.
Two different things. So that's the public hearing to get any kind of comments. So now that that's done, we can go ahead and go
Gotcha,
back to
gotcha.
approval of minutes from our last meeting, which was on November 18th. I will entertain a motion.
I will move that we approve the minutes from our meeting on November 18th, 2021.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion, corrections, edits to the minutes? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, ayes have it. Next up is our consent agenda, which is basically our bills list. Oh, and I see another thing here to ratify a snow removal contract. So our bills list for November 18th through December 3rd totals $38,947.02 from the general fund. And then we also have a snow removal service agreement to ratify. So basically, the consent agenda works like this. We can make one motion to approve both of those items. If there's a question about anything in either one of those items, we can pull that out and we'll do two different motions. I will let you all decide.
Can I still ask a question without pulling it out? Or not?
Yes, I will say yes.
For the snow removal, is this is a separate entity? This isn't one of, like we had talked about getting assistance from the other townships, from Patton and Ferguson, this is different?
Right. If you recall, last meeting, we had talked about the fact that we didn't have anybody on our road crew except for one person, and we were
Right.
going to move forward with a contract that we had received from a company, and the solicitor reviewed everything and came up with this. We received a signed contract back, but it was signed with draft all over it. So I asked that we ratify that back to December 1st when it was signed, but this is just to make sure it doesn't have the draft all over it.
Yeah. Curious, does this company just supply the drivers, or are
They do.
using
They
their own
supply the
trucks?
drivers and the trucks.
And the trucks?
Yep,
Okay.
so I have it pulled up right now
service.
behind us a little bit, but there are rates for it, what kind of truck they provide. They have arrangements with Scott and I. They know, they come in, grab our salt and get loaded up, go do the roads if we need them, and then drop everything with the salt back and then go.
Great.
So they'll work with Scott, and then if something catastrophic happened, we could still
We could
potentially
still
call.
Yes,
with the
this
other
is good for 4
townships.
months, so it activates them for 4 months.
Okay.
And is this as needed?
Yes.
Correct. Okay.
I will say Scott has been doing this all on his own right now. And he has been doing a fantastic job taking care of all of the township roads by himself.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions or clarifications before a motion for the consent agenda? Anybody wanna look at anything else? You guys all right?
I am.
I'm good.
Motion for the consent agenda then?
I move that we approve tonight's consent agenda.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Okay, excellent. Let's have it. Old business. We have a township logo.
Okay, I didn't want to put this out there yet. This is very exciting. So we put out to the public two logos that were kind of in contention with each other as far as what we wanted to do. But Kelton Fedor has been very kind. He provided us with all this and many revisions. The public survey, we do have the results of it, and we have a very clear winner. I would like to just say a couple of little things about it, because I did read we received some comments as well. And some people were concerned about, it was very simple and everything. And I'd like to say that when you have a file that is simple, it's great for screen printing, for sizing up, sizing down, putting it on embroidery or anything along those lines. So while simple, I think this really does capture the essence of the township, and I'm so proud to announce this. So our clear winner out of, the 68 votes was number 1, which, yes, I think Danelle just held it up,
Okay.
which is behind me. That, with your approval, is our new township logo.
It's cute.
I do have one question. You sure it's 1802 and not 1801?
We checked, we went to the law library
Okay.
and checked, because there's a founded and an incorporated date, which are different.
Yep.
So we double checked, because I was really worried that we were going to
Yeah,
have
we
the
don't want the
wrong
wrong
date.
one.
No. So it is the founded date or the incorporated date? I'm gonna assume it's incorporated.
Yeah, I think
It's-
founded
it's-
comes
Because if you say
first.
established,
It's
which is
established.
EST, it should be.
Yeah.
Which was the
Incorporated.
meeting of the Quakers of,
Yes.
so.
Yeah.
Lovely,
Yeah, well, the
lovely.
All
paperwork
three of
was
them
started
lived in
in
Halfmoon.
1801. That's why I asked.
Took
Yeah,
paperwork
Dave,
a
that
long
was a
time back then,
concern.
too.
Yeah.
Fabulous, very exciting.
No stars?
No stars.
Doesn't translate
And-
well when you size
No,
up or size
yeah.
down. And,
I did like the stars though, too.
yeah,
I
I did
did.
too, but
But
unfortunately.
embroidery and screen
Yes.
printing, and when you do all those marketing, this
Simple but
translates.
versatile.
Yes.
Very nice.
I think that I saw some of the complaints about what the folks didn't like about this, and like I kind of agree with some of them, but I think folks really need to take into account the fact that we are in the digital age now, and everything, especially with COVID, happens online. So we have to be able to present our logo in different situations and have it look good and professional. And if you're taking something that's far too intricate and trying to make it bigger or smaller, then it just comes across as bad.
How does it
So-
look at 2 inches by 2 inches?
Oh,
Small.
yeah, so we do have, he just sent me the files last night for like 10 different file sizes. So ones that you can use on websites that are mobile compatible, things like, envelopes and printing. And I honestly haven't opened it up and tried it in a bunch of things, but yes, this will end up better. The logo that we had previously, nobody's quite sure where it came from. There was no high res.
Yeah.
And I think I had shown the fact
Yeah,
that
it gets all
when,
fuzzy.
you could see it on the cogs stuff when they do it, when they try to expand it and make it bigger. It doesn't
I
expand,
have it
it doesn't
embedded in
translate.
my email, and if you blow it up any bigger, it looks terrible. So, yeah.
And that was the only file that we could find of it, so we don't know where it came from or anything. But this is then something that we can use, so.
Lovely. Okay,
Right.
fabulous.
Do we want a motion to adopt it, or I don't know if that's required. I've never done a logo of it, but I think it would be good.
Do we want to make it official?
Yeah, I move we approve the logo.
Excellent. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Awesome.
wonderful. Okay, new business. This is the time, typically at the end of the year, there's a lot of administrative items to get taken care of. There's a lot of resolutions that come out of the approval of the budget. So the first thing we have to do is approve the budget,
Like
and
I've
then.
been trying to do all night.
Correct. And then from that, things get paid because that budget is now approved, and these other resolutions are a part of that. So we'll do the first one, and then we'll talk about how to do the rest of them. Is that okay?
Yeah,
'Cause
the,
we
the
have to do
first
this.
one's the one that you should, so,
Yeah.
actually, I'm just gonna
You can
kind of
put
put this
now,
right in
yeah.
there. I had, when I was reading over these, I realized that a lot of these are actually the contributions that are listed in the budget or the distributions that we approve in a budget. So I contacted the solicitor and said, are these even required? Because it seems like this is something superfluous to what we're already doing. When you approve the budget, you're approving the amounts that are listed within those. The contracts that we have do not require that it's approved by resolution. Even if it did, you're still getting the point where the budget approval resolution
Is the-
approves all of these things to happen. So Zach said, you don't need to do this at all. There's quite a bit in there. And you do that when you approve the budget. He said it would probably be good to add an extra caveat of, we approve the budget and for staff to make the distributions as required. Because
Okay.
there's quarterly distributions
Yeah,
for
sure.
some, but when you approve that amount, that's the amount. We have to pay our bills on time, or.
Yeah.
it's
Does
just
everybody
not good.
understand that?
I get it.
And, go ahead.
My only question is that we have listed on the agenda, Resolution 2021 XX.
Yes.
How do we know those numbers?
I
'Cause-
have them.
Okay.
So, the first one would be 20. That's the next one in line.
So that's the actual budget approval.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, before you do that, it says fiscal year 2022.
Mm-hmm.
And it says real estate taxes 2022. So we're gonna approve what's gonna happen next year with the budget. Well, obviously, we adopt the budget because that's required by law. And then the real estate taxes, we're gonna set that rate for the year 2022, correct?
That's correct.
And it says fiscal year 2022 Center Region Council of Government distributions.
Right. That.
What is that?
So, that again, every year you do these end of year resolutions that say, this is what's going to happen. You're going to pay this amount and this amount and this amount every quarter. And what we're doing is, instead of doing that, we're just saying that happens during the budget approval process.
So
when
these
you approve it.
distributions are what we already put in the budget. So the COG expenses, the quarterly payments to
Right,
COG.
so why are we doing a resolution?
We're not, that's what she's saying.
Okay.
So basically the solicitor said it's unnecessary. So once we do the resolution for the budget, now these other ones, and she just found this out, that's why they're still on the agenda.
Okay.
All We
right.
don't have to do these other individual ones.
I think the point is that we had previously been doing this way with
Correct.
all
Every
these
year.
different resolutions
Correct.
every year, and then we just kind of figured out that, oh, wait a minute, we're being redundant.
Yeah, correct.
And let's just roll it into one resolution.
Does that make sense to everybody?
Which is we're approving the budget and then we approve the taxes.
Yes.
That's it.
Those are the only two.
Those are the
resolutions.
only two, exactly.
Okay.
Okay, all right, so, we have the first one, I can start the motion, right?
Sure.
I move that we approve resolution 2021-20, fiscal year 2022 budget, and direct staff to make the distributions as required. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion?
Distributions will not occur until the following year, correct?
Of course not. That's
It's the 20.
yeah,
2022.
that's
There's a schedule in there and
All
everything.
right.
Any other discussion, questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. And now we have resolution, I move that we pass, what am I saying? I move resolution 2020, we approve resolution 2021-21, which is the fiscal year 2022 real estate taxes. And then we
I'll
have an-
second that as well.
Yeah,
They're the same as last year?
yes.
that's what I'm looking at here. Oh no, that's not the wrong one. Did you give us that resolution? What am I looking at?
Yes.
Same as last year.
It's in the packet, so
Okay.
they're stapled.
Oh, that's all in one,
It's all,
gotcha.
yeah, so if you
Gotcha.
flip that one, you'll see it.
Uh-huh.
It'll be the next one.
Yes, there it is. Yep, same as last year. It's on page 2 of our little resolution packet.
So the total is still 8.37 mils, 4.67 of which is general fund, 2 of which is for open space
space.
preservation, and 1.7 for fire protection services.
It is. just wanna make sure everybody sees that before we go ahead and approve.
Yep.
Did we get a second on that?
I second.
Okay, thank you. Is there any other question or discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, ayes have it. So those are the only two resolutions that we need then.
Yes.
Awesome. The other ones are just gonna get paid as necessary. Excellent. Okay, where are we? We are now, there's an item C on the new or the new business is about the community center office modifications, which in the room next door. And Denise, we're gonna table that, you said.
Yes, I was having some difficulty finding contractors who would come in or even quote the job.
Do we have an architect plan for what we wanna do or anything yet, or not?
Well,
Design.
so we also have I was expecting a digital copy of that back, and everything didn't come in on time, and there were some other issues,
Okay.
so we just need to table that, and we will revisit that probably in
Shortly.
Yes,
the
shortly.
January meeting, first meeting.
Okay, excellent.
Okay.
So we'll postpone that to January 2022. Next up, we have approval for additional truck loan payment and savings transfer. Would you like to?
Yes, I'm
Share
very
that.
excited about this. Very excited about this. Okay, so in your resolution packets, or maybe it's behind it, I think it's behind the resolutions. This will actually end up becoming a resolution. I did not know that when I put this together. Talked to the solicitor, and he said this will need to be a resolution as per the section 3202E of second class township code. But what's great and what is very exciting to explain is in your packets, actually I think I put it underneath your packets. Brett had emailed you the financial report, the profit and loss statement from the beginning of December.
This?
Yes, the profit and loss statement.
Yes.
This is the page she's referring to, everybody. So you-
And at the beginning of December, we show a net income for the year of about 378, and so that's without continuing for the second or the last month. As such, Brett and I started looking at, okay, we have a little bit of money. Let's do what we said we would do. Let's pay off some debt and let's save a little. This is the opportunity to make that work. So what we talked about was transferring 10,000 from the general fund into the park fund, and kind of parking it there for now, because we will have some things that we can do. We might, at the end of the loan, pay off a little bit faster, or if we have some equipment needs coming up, whatever it might be that helps save for the park. Then we wanted to take 40,000 from the general fund and transfer it to the equipment fund with permission to make an extra payment on the truck loan, condition that there is no prepayment penalty. I've looked at the documents with Brett. We don't believe there is. We just need to double check with the bank. But that then gives us a little bit of extra savings in equipment, because we will have capital equipment needs coming up. And then it also will help reduce some of the debt that we have and pay it off faster.
And you're saving money on interest.
Absolutely. So in order to do that, we need to pass a resolution authorizing appropriation of monies that were not in the originally approved budget for 2021. So that would be resolution 2021-22.
So it's a resolution for all of that? Oh, I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, I don't.
It's here.
That'll work. I move that we approve a resolution of the Board of Supervisors of Halfmoon Township, Center County, Pennsylvania, making supplemental appropriations to the equipment and parks funds which were not included in the original 2021 budget as adopted.
I'll second.
Okay.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Now, discussion.
Discussion. The resolution to transfer the funds, is that money to be paid on the truck in 2021 or 2022?
It will be 2021. So there is
So it'll
another.
be between now and Christmas time, I
Yes,
assume.
we have another bills payment run, December, I believe it's 17th.
So we're essentially making a double payment for 2021 on the truck,
Yes.
and a little bit extra on the park. Okay.
No, there's no extra payment on the park. There's just savings
That's just
into the
gonna be
park
savings.
fund. And then when the loan's starting to come, we can take a look at that a little later, but we do want to put some money in that fund to start saving, for the fact that there will be equipment that we need to replace, and there are gonna be some issues there.
So for the park, it was not to pay extra on the loan.
Just to put it in
That's just to
reserve.
save it, yeah.
Let's keep in mind that that park fund is not just for the one park.
Correct.
It's for all of our
Right.
parks. And
Yes.
this park needs attention.
Yes.
So, you know, that $10,000 could go a long way into making some improvements out here, so nobody gets hurt, so.
Yes, that is some of the concern.
What's our yearly truck payment? Was that 39,000 or something like that?
28.5 something.
So you're making more than a full year's payment, principal payment, essentially.
It's a
No,
monthly.
we're gonna make an extra year's payment and keep the rest in that fund
Not
for
a year's
savings.
payment, just an
It's a
extra
month,
one
isn't it?
payment.
Isn't it a monthly payment?
The truck is a yearly payment.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah.
We pay once a year
35.
in December.
gotcha.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not monthly, so you are gonna pay a
Cool.
whole year's payment.
Well, I'm glad we're
Whole
not paying
extra year's payment.
$39,000
So will we-
a month
Have
for a
something like 11 or 12,000 left or something like that.
We'll have 48, or we'll have 2 years of payments left after that. So we'll have to pay 2022, 2023, and then the truck's done.
No, I meant just on the balance of this 40, so there'll be something, and what's left is gonna be.
What's left
the-
will stay in the fund to just be a savings for
Capital savings.
purchases of equipment in the future.
Okay. Wow, that's
I'm
good.
super just curious, as far as interest on the truck versus interest on the park loan. The truck payment makes more sense. Just asking. Sorry to put you on the spot.
I'll
it's a
check on that
short-
and get back to you.
Okay.
Well, it's probably a shorter term payment, it's probably better to pay it and get it.
Yeah.
Get it closer to being
I'm
done.
fine.
I would bet you
That's-
money the truck is higher interest.
Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very likely, and not to mention the truck depreciates over time.
Much
The-
faster.
The truck is
Yeah,
higher,
pay it
it's at
off.
4 something. I do remember this now. The truck is at 4 something, and we refinanced the park recently.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. Okay, perfect.
lower.
Thank you. Other questions, discussion? All those in favor of passing resolution 2021-22, say aye.
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 Okay, ayes have it. Very nice. Always good to save whatever we can. And pay down debt. Next up is the ARPA engagement letter with Mauer Dussel.
Yes, we, if you recall.
American Relief,
American.
I can
Wow.
never get this. American Relief Protection.
How did that
Sorry.
just go? Rescue Plan, American
Yes.
Rescue Plan Act.
Oh, there it is, American Rescue Plan Act. Thank you. Never remember.
If you recall,
Yes.
we had a discussion about the fact that Meyer Dussel had been our auditor for many years, and we did switch auditors for the 2021 fiscal year audit, which will happen in late January of 2022. There's a calculation that you use to determine your lost revenue that's assumed, or you can use a calculation of like a flat 4-something%. And that money from the ARPA funds then can get transferred into your general fund as just lost revenue. When I did the calculations, it skews differently, and I'm the only set of eyes on it. And since Meyer Dussel knows our books from the last 4 years,
Yep.
I talked to them about, can we get somebody to look at our calculations and say, knowing what we know, yes, this is correct, or modify this based off of the calculations, the guidance that the Treasury has put out. And we received a preliminary contract to do that. It is basically an engagement letter. The amounts, it was estimated to me, and I thought I had pulled this up, that I guess I did not.
I mean, we should just be talking hours, right?
Yes, so the assumption was it would be about 5 to 6 hours
Okay.
to do some of this, and then there are rates there for, here we go. Then there are rates for the partner, the consultant, the senior accountant, the staff accountant. But basically, it's the same kind of service as, it's an engagement letter that we can sign with Meyer Dussel to provide that service to us.
So they're not auditing us this time, it's just them coming in as an extra set of eyes to confirm some things for us?
Yes.
Good,
To help us maximize
Yes, that's, you know,
lost
if,
revenue.
yes.
if
So
our
it's less than-
numbers,
about less than $1,000, about $1,000 probably we'll pay for
yeah, I
this.
think I estimated it would be about 1,100 total.
Okay.
It's reasonable.
Which could save us,
Sure.
not save, gain us more than that, I would assume.
Yes,
Has the
so.
federal government put out limitations, guidelines, anything yet? Is anything in stone? Or
We have an interim final rule,
In stone?
Yeah.
but no. And every
It's
day it
sand.
seems like something new, some new guidance is
Yep.
being offered. I will say that this can get paid from the ARPA funds.
I'm sure that was part of the scam, yeah.
So that, it shouldn't impact,
Hopefully it should take care of itself.
yes, yes.
So when are they expecting to have anything? Does anybody know? Anybody have a
Nobody
clue?
It was supposed to be fall,
Yeah.
and I mean, technically, we're still in fall for a couple more days.
True, till the 21st.
Yeah, yeah.
And when Patty and I went to that local CCATO, Center County elected officials, township officials, someone that was there from CEDACOG, and they were talking, everybody's trying to keep up with when these guidelines are gonna get finalized and things like that, so, and I already talked to Denise, she's in contact with lots of different folks about what the best practices are that people are doing, what's working, what's not, so we're not isolated, thank goodness, the connections that we have, to try and keep up with that, so that we can, again, maximize.
I guess I don't have a problem with Meyer Dussel helping us with this. That's not my issue. My issue is nobody knows what's going on yet.
Correct.
And you know, once it comes out, we may need to go another route to make a decision on it. And not just have an accountant, you know, perhaps a law firm's involved with it. I don't know.
Yes, and we can, that's a further discussion. This is just to determine what calculations,
What you can apply for.
yeah, more like, what we can put back into the general
But
fund
they're
as
not gonna
loss.
do anything until we tell them to go ahead and start, correct? Even
Correct.
though we're gonna send them the contract, they're just gonna file it.
Correct, it's, we're waiting for
Yeah.
some stuff, but because they know our history and our
Right.
finances, they know about the park loans.
It'll be
They-
easier for them.
I
They-
just don't want them to go into a bunch of gyrations and then a bill shows up and nothing's finalized, is what I'm saying.
Oh, no.
Well, you say that, but sometimes the bills show up, so.
Okay.
Well,
So-
Dave, I'm sorry,
Oh.
is your concern that, the final, let's say, regulations on what can be done with that money is gonna come in and we're gonna end up like having to owe some of it back, or?
No, I don't think that's gonna be the case. I think, depending on how the political winds are blowing in Washington DC, you know, I don't know what we're gonna end up with. May come back and say, well, you're allowed to buy plastic with it, but that's about it. Or they can say, you can go pave roads and do whatever you want.
There is
that's-
some
that's-
guidance right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
Right, but I mean, I've been trying to pay attention to this stuff at least a little bit. And it just seems like everything's floating around and it's like, okay, here's the money, but don't spend it yet. Just sit on it and.
The guidance from, like Pennsylvania State Association of Township Supervisors is to right now, if you can, wait for that final rule to come out before you commit funds. Now, I know other municipalities, even locally, have applied for certain grants that can go in conjunction with this because they have projects that by no means are like questionable. They have projects that deal with infrastructure, with
Yeah.
water and things that are much more clearly defined in that interim final rule right now.
All right, well, I'm okay with it as long as we don't do anything until the final rules come out, and then, you know, we can jump on it and do what's good for the township. I just don't wanna get our professional consultants involved in speculation.
You're
Yeah,
worried
we're
about
gonna do
spending
it a second
money,
time.
Yeah.
spending money now and then having to do it again,
Yeah,
basically, yeah.
and then
Yeah.
find out, well, oh yeah, by the way, these weren't the final rules, but we were just looking at what the final rules might be.
Okay, good. So I will entertain a motion to engage in, do we need a motion to formally engage
Engage.
with Mauer
Meyer
Dixon?
I move that we engage with Meyer Dussel, but they're not allowed to do anything until the final rules come out,
Okay,
at least for us.
is there a second?
I'll second.
Yes. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we got it. Excellent. I see we lost another planning commission member, so we have a letter of resignation from Joe Solosky that, do we need a motion to accept that?
Probably should do that. I move that we accept Joe Solosky's resignation and send him a card thanking him for his service on the planning commission.
Excellent.
I'll
Is there a
second.
Okay, all those in favor, or sorry, discussion?
Well, the only thing I have to say is I walk by his house every day, twice, walking my dog, so I'm gonna go knock on his door and say, come on, who cares? But other than that, no, I appreciate his time spent with us and his contribution as well.
Yes, he's running for governor. And
Yes, he
so,
is.
yes,
Governor,
governor.
wow, cause I know he ran for something last year?
State Senate, I believe it was.
I think you're right, yes.
I don't know that it's a conflict to run for governor or be on the planning commission.
It's a time commitment issue for him.
Focus.
I understand.
Focus.
He's, I believe, running as a libertarian, and
All those, oh,
he has a lot of work to do, so.
all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay. I was just saying, it was rather amusing that we have to approve that and he's resigning.
Yeah.
Whether we like it or
If
not.
you're not allowed to resign.
Yeah,
Just acknowledge.
Yeah.
yes, acknowledged, yes,
No
yes.
vacancy on the.
All right, and, just as a side note about the planning commission, are they still okay with the number of members that they have now?
Yes, for now.
Okay.
So if you recall, the planning commission can have 5 to 7 members with up to 3 alternates. This takes the planning commission to 6
Members,
right,
okay,
for now.
okay. All right. Next on the agenda is a certificate presentation to Chair Del Corso.
Yes. So, 2 things I want to say that unless something huge pending comes up, this is probably going to be our last meeting for the year. Danelle has been on the board this last year, served 6 years for the board, and served 4 years at the planning commission before moving on to the board. I would like to thank her for her service to the community and hopefully some form of continued service to the community. It has been a pleasure to have you as our chair and a board member. I would like to present you with a certificate of service from Pennsylvania State Association of Township Supervisors. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for your service.
Don't forget to read the fine print on it.
Oh, no.
Yes, it does say you still have to serve in some capacity.
As a resident,
I hear there's an opening on the planning commission.
Yeah.
I've already been,
And so, thank you. And so, since I've come here, this is my first gain or loss of a board member. So I wanted to do something for the board. You have gifts below you. I have not seen yet in Half Moon pictures of the boards together for the years that they served. So go ahead. I bought something for you all as a gift. Very.
no.
Oh, look, nice little.
Yes, the tags are homemade too, thanks to
Homemade,
Cricket.
really?
Wow, this is cool.
Oh, I bet, is this what I need?
That's really cool. I like that.
Unfortunately, we didn't have a logo picked out in time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where's the logo?
It would have.
It would-
But no, this is cool. I like this,
Ooh, it's very
the
comfortable.
black and white on the gray and
Yeah.
Simple, very nice.
like-
It says Mike on it.
Oh, no.
I feel like I could,
Well, you and Mike got the same sizes then, so.
jog to the Rocky theme song in this.
Oh, no.
What I would love to do is everybody at the end here, we put them on, and I would love to take a picture.
I think that's a splendid idea.
Can be the first picture that when we move back here, hopefully, that we have a beautiful set of pictures starting out with everybody in the same sweatshirt. So
Sure.
thank you so much for being my first board here at Halfmoon. It's been a pleasure.
Love it, love it. Fabulous, thank you.
Thank you, Denise.
I would like to say also that it has been a pleasure. It's been a very challenging couple years, but I've thoroughly enjoyed working with all of you. I think we have worked well together to do the best that we can in these past couple years for the residents. It's all about the residents and trying to make the best decisions that we can. I have faith in the board going forward in 2022. Good luck, and keep doing the good work for the residents and working the best you can as a team. That's important. So, and I'd like to thank my older board members, Mark Stevenson, Barb Spencer, Andy Merritt, Todd Kirsten. Pretty sure that's the only folks I worked with.
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah, 6 years, you couldn't have that more.
Yeah,
than
not
that,
too
so.
many. But everyone is just fabulous because we are all basically volunteering our time to help with the operations of the township. And so I thank everyone. Thank you.
Well, thank you for your time and efforts over the years. You've been an asset to the board. You've been an asset to the Center Region Council of Governments and all the committees you served on in that capacity as well. So you are going to be sorely missed at all levels of local government. So
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm also looking forward to just being a resident again for a little while, so I'm kind of looking forward to that.
having your every other Thursday night off.
Yeah, I gain about 12 hours a month, so
Yeah.
I'm kind of looking forward to that for a while. Thank you. Appreciate it. We have our department reports. What? Oh, were you
Yeah,
jumping to
just
something?
like, sad moment,
Oh.
that's all.
Let's see. Brett had sent around the financial reports, which, does anyone have any questions about?
I do not.
Let's see. Is there anything of note in here other than, I'm sure you have some stuff to mention?
Yes, the
Denise?
Public Works, I will say, again, Scott has been amazing at getting everything completed for the roads and everything. All staff has completed flagger training as well, so Amy, Brett, Scott, everybody.
Everybody went through it.
Everybody went
Good.
through it. So
glad you-
if there's
glad
an
you did that.
emergency, if, we can pull anybody, if it's just, we need help for a half hour to get through this curve, that's completed.
Sure.
The Watch Children signs are up at the Centennial Hills. That was completed. Scott has completed LTAP Road Scholar 1 training. He's also completed and passed the pesticide spray applicator core license, category 10 license, and category 23 license.
Good.
Very nice.
For the manager's report, I just wanted to give you a status of how the road crew interviews have gone. We received over 50 applications.
Wow.
Quite impressed by that.
Wow.
We scheduled interviews for 6 last Friday. I'm hoping to conduct second interviews within the next 2 weeks here and hire at the organization meeting. We might just be looking at 1 right now, and we might open up the application process again on Indeed, depending on how the second interviews go. In addition, we're losing Ken Soder as our zoning officer for Patton Township. He has been promoted, but we will be gaining 2 wonderful people. Alexandra, I am not going to even try this. Alexandra C., who is the township engineer over at Patton Township. She'll be helping us with the zoning, and so will Nicole Harder from Patton Township. She will be helping us with zoning while they look to hire a new zoning officer who will be contracting with at that point.
A longtime Patton employees,
I am not sure how long they've been there. And I know Nicole's been there for a long time. I just met them Tuesday.
You don't know their entire work history.
I do not, but I'll tell you, they did come out and we discussed the plans that we're currently reviewing. And And that's actually one of the things I wanted to say is the Planning Commission is continuing to review the Half Moon Acres plan. We, on Tuesday, spent 5 hours updating and reviewing that with Alex and Nicole, and it went quite well. They hopped right in. It was great.
Good.
Last,
Just to refresh my memory, Half Moon Acres is Maloney?
yes.
Yeah, okay.
And then on Monday, we had our 2022 planning session with staff, and Danelle actually helped facilitate that for us. We have a tentative calendar for when things will be occurring.
For the entire year.
Wow.
Yes, so we can get it out to the public. We'll be doing those newsletters and actually mailing them, but it will be very nice. We'll continue to push out our email, Facebook page, as many ways as we can, but the newsletters will also help us in communicating when people should expect street sweeping, when people should expect the paving projects, when people should expect the in-house road water mitigation projects. So we've narrowed down a schedule. Staff knows when everything should be happening. We're gonna meet once a month and make sure that the next month or the next 2 months that everything's staying on track. And if we have modifications or need to do that, we'll push those out as well. But it will be nice to give residents an idea of what to expect in the year ahead.
Great.
Very nice.
Good. Any other discussion or questions for Denise about any of the reports? Anything else you needed to mention?
I don't think so.
Okay. We have supervisor reports. I know being December, many of the committee meetings get canceled. I only attended one. It was the land use and community infrastructure. And there was some discussion about UAJ needing to do a study because they're going to replace pumps. Meeks is the closest to us, even though we are not in the sewer service area and the water authority area. But it's close to us, so it might be of note to us. But they're looking to replace 2 pumps. I can't remember where the other one was. Because it wasn't impacting us at
Yeah,
all. Meeks is
exactly.
closer to us, but again, we are not a part of that because of the sewer service area, so it doesn't really impact us, but that's one of the items that they were discussing.
They the wells,
Yes.
the wells in Half Moon Township?
Are they the wells?
Yeah, there's like 3 wells in Half Moon Township. Out near the game lanes.
No.
behind Graves
I
Wood.
think
No,
Those
those
go-
are upper Half Moon water.
No, no.
No, I know what you're talking about.
They're,
Are they
the
the-
College Borough Water Authority has wells up. Yeah.
There are the wells, but this is the pump station. Do the wells go to the pump station? Do they connect?
Or is
there?
this sewer? Are we talking
This is
sewer.
Oh,
This is sewer. I
okay.
apologize. Yes,
All right, I'm
sorry,
sorry, I
sewer.
didn't-
Yeah, I think we're talking
I said
water.
water. I did say water. I apologize. But I think they're looking. They need to be replaced from a capacity standpoint, future capacity standpoint. So that's why they're looking at it's a special study to figure
We've
out
got a new development going in there
exactly.
down around Price's Sawmill.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they were gonna extend the line down, so I didn't know if they'd started that or not.
Not yet.
Not yet. Thinking about it.
No, but it's coming.
Yeah.
That whole area of Patton is gonna be
Sewered, I guess.
Yeah.
gonna be under construction at some point.
So that was the only one I had. My other meetings were canceled. So how about you, Bob?
I really don't have anything other than the executive committee met today for Whitehall Road Parks matters, let's just say, which Half Moon does not participate in because we are not part of the parks program. And then there was an executive session to talk of personnel matters. But other than that, all the other committees. Oh, excuse me, we had Upper Bald Eagle COG yesterday. Very quick meeting. Unfortunately, we did not go over the fire department's budget yet again because we finally got all the representatives in the room and the fire department didn't show.
Oh no.
So,
Oh, no.
it's getting pushed out once again. This is going to be the 4th try to get everybody in the same room so we can talk about this. So, we're making attempts.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't have anything.
Do you know when that will be pushed out to?
The next meeting is the day after our reorg meeting.
Okay, so it's going to January. Okay.
Yeah.
We know what our allotment is for next year, right? Or are you talking about other future projects for the fire company?
Oh, no, this is just the fire company's 2022 operating budget. You know, we pay into them, but so do the other municipalities. And the COG currently controls the purse strings on everyone else's money. Our money goes directly to the fire department. Am I correct?
To an extent, it goes, it's deposited into the accounts through they have a treasurer through the COG
Yeah.
that's been appointed for them.
Yeah.
So that goes to the treasurer, and the treasurer deposits the money, and then the COG does the expenditures.
Okay.
But our contract with them for fire protection services is in our budget. It's all completed, and we just approved that, so that is what they get from Halfmoon.
Okay, I was just trying to make sure they weren't handing us their 2022 proposed budget and we never saw it.
No, it's it's more than just 2022. It's a projected out like 10 years to try and keep John. Right?
John and I worked on
Yeah.
it together. They didn't have a long-term projection for equipment replacement.
Yeah.
So we worked together for weeks and went through what the equipment life would be, and yeah, I'm very
So
comfortable
all the
with,
elected officials are trying to get together.
yes, and I do know he
Okay.
has been quite ill, so I think that's why he didn't come.
No,
Okay.
that's bad news.
Okay.
But yes,
Anything else from Upper Bald Eagle COG?
No.
Okay.
That was it.
Patty?
I had finance and facilities was combined this morning with a few other groups to talk about Whitehall Road Regional Park. So there was a motion that did pass, and it was sent to the executive group, which met right after. So
Yeah.
I think that'll come from that. So
Okay.
like I said, we don't have a vote in that. So,
Right.
but the park is moving forward at some capacity. We're just debating at what capacity.
Still debating.
Yes.
What capacity. Oh, that was it?
open space yesterday.
Yeah, I was sure.
Yeah. go ahead.
We're looking at working with Joanne Fisher
Mhm.
and Clearwater Conservancy, PA Western Conservancy, and the county to permanently preserve development easement rights on her
Lovely.
property. So
Lovely.
that has been initiated.
Wonderful. Lovely. There was one application that came in, correct? Was that reviewed yet?
That was for
Prior
Liz.
to our,
That's going to be reviewed at the next planning
Okay.
commission
Just wondering.
meeting.
Okay, because the Open Space Board pushed it to the Planning Commission, but they haven't discussed it yet.
Gotcha.
Okay.
That will happen December 21st.
That
Okay.
was-
because that's the only one that's still outstanding,
Right.
and then the moratorium
Right.
for, until the 5-year review is done. Okay, perfect. Excellent. Anyone else have any committee updates, reports, anything else for the good and welfare? Yes, no?
No, just feels,
It's the end of the year, it's done, it's the
Well, you've
end of
got
an
an
era.
executive session, don't you?
End of an era.
We
do have
do.
an executive session, yes, to adjourn to.
And officials.
Any public comment?
Thank you,
Thank you.
and, yeah, you were well respected by everyone in the COG, so thank you very much for your service.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, take care.
Mhm.
And thank you
Liz.
all for
Thank-
your work, because this is brutal work.
Come on, it's fun.
All right. Seeing no other business, I'll go ahead and adjourn, and we will begin our executive session. Thank you. Thanks for coming.